Harajuku fashion isn't just a pastel TikTok trend or aesthetic. It prides itself on being anti-conformity. It originated as a celebration of self-expression and independence. It encompasses many types of Japanese street styles, such as Lolita, Decora, Visual Gyaru. It gained popularity, obviously, in Harajuku Station in Ura, Harajuku, where creativity and rejection of conformity were central and so integral to the subculture. However, when we look in the West, when Harajuku, I guess, came over here to the West, it was popularized in our mainstream media by, of course, none other have to say, Gwen Stefani. And I feel like she's like the main culprit that people focus on. But I do want to also mention that in the early 2000s, this Asian aesthetic was very popular. Another person that comes to mind is Nicki Minaj in some of her music videos, where she really taps into the Asian aesthetic with cultural kind of styling, I guess you would say, cultural things. Gwen Stefani's Harajuku girls in the early 2000s were kind of her props. There were four Japanese women, and she basically repackaged Harajuku for aesthetics. And she even had this whole like Target line. I don't know if anyone else remembers this. And I think also like fragrance as well. But she renamed the backup dancers to Love Angel Music Baby for her album Love Angel Music Baby, and reportedly restricted their speech to Japanese only, drawing criticism for commodifying and stereotyping Japanese culture. I feel like I don't really need to explain why this is so harmful, but I feel like this really contributes to the stereotype of Asian women in particular being quiet or meek or very submissive. And that goes into a lot of the misogyny kind of aspect of this whole thing of Harajuku and just like commodifying an entire race, if that makes sense. But the next time you see a Harajuku inspired trend online, remember it's more than just the pastel layers. It is radical DIY fashion born in a creative and individualistic Tokyo street scene. And I feel like that makes it even so much more cooler because I feel like Tokyo has one of the best fashion, like they are one of the best fashion influences for me, or they're my favorite fashion influence for me. I feel like obviously not everyone can be educated or informed, but I feel like because the West prioritizes itself and is so like selfish in that way, they only think like other people's cultures are for them to commodify. I feel like it's a good kind of discussion to have, especially the state of the world and how like the US is literally in shit right now. But I feel like it's a good thing to like reflect from past fashion and music, pop culture kind of things. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys like Harajuku fashion? Why or why not? Did you know the history of Harajuku fashion?